well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the true doctrine across the four winds of earth and all truth and sincerity. And we're the Mississippi Camp once again out on the highways and byways, prophesying the downfall of America, letting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that you're the Most High's chosen people. And those are the people that's on this chart here. You so-called Negroes and you so-called Mexicans, man. And we also letting our people know that, hey, the doors of repentance is still open, man. And you Israelites, you need to repent and come back to the Heavenly Father and the Son, because whether you like it or not or know it or not, the Lord is about to kill a lot of people on this damn chart, man. Right. Because you wicked, you hard-headed, you stiff-necked, you know, and you don't want to do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to the best of your ability, man. You know, it's not that hard, man. Just put out wickedness, okay? Read the Bible. It's a whole book of guidance and direction to righteousness, man. And that will lead where? To salvation. But see, a lot of our people are just completely oblivious or just don't want to know the ways of righteousness, man, because they are so into feeling or they lust, man, just fulfilling that lust, man. But whatever they want to do, they do as that will spirit, just be completely wicked, man. Hey, but the Lord is finna kill a lot of Israelites, man.
Quickly for you.
Good.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
God. And this is the knowledge, man, this truth, this understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Okay? The ways of righteousness, man. To be able to know how to walk in the spirit, to judge in the spirit, okay, to put off that old man. But you're gonna be destroyed because the lack of knowledge. You're gonna reject the knowledge, man. Okay, and the Lord is gonna reject you, man. When your calamity comes, when all hell break loose, hey, the Lord is gonna laugh at you, man. He's gonna tell you, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. And it's only righteously so, man, that he do that. Because he has sent forth his prophets.
Another for you, brother. Come on, bro. Isaiah 5:13. It says, therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
And you Israelites, y'all think y'all free now. You really think you free because you get to get up in the morning, you get to go to work, okay, you get to roam around Babylon and everything, but you're yet this day in your captivity, man. But you just have, instead of fetters and chains on you, now you got a social security card, a birth certificate, a license, an address, you know, so on and so forth, man. So you don't understand that you're still in captivity, man. There was some more on that, bro. Okay, good.
And in Proverbs 13:13, whosoever despises the word shall be destroyed, but he that fears the commandment shall be rewarded.
No, go ahead, bro.
And basically, like you say, if you despise the word, you will be destroyed. We got brothers week in, week out, pushing this knowledge through the internet, on the highways, each and every week.
Yeah.
So you can't say I haven't heard it before. Guess what?
Right.
You niggas have. Alright, you have heard of it. Everybody got the internet, everybody got a smartphone. So guess what? You gonna get, like I said, you gonna get what you deserve, though.
Yeah.
So guess what, like the brother said, Lord destroyed. Most of you motherfuckers on this sign. That's what's gonna happen. Because y'all niggas choose, y'all choose and think you gonna do the fuck you wanna do when you wanna do it. And that don't work that way. It never worked that way. The Lord gonna get you niggas exactly how he gonna get you. Alright?
You read that one more time, bro?
And it's Proverbs 13:13. Whosoever despises the word shall be destroyed.
And see, that's why I want to say right there, who despise the word. And you got our people, they despise the fact that, hey, the prophets tell you that the Lord only comes for the lost sheep of Israel, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. And you despise that. You want every other nation to be saved. What about Esau? You know, the so-called white man, you want him to be in the mix, okay? But he's not in the mix, man. Okay, he's not of the nation of Israel when it comes to being progenitors of Jacob, you know, or our forefather being Abraham and Isaac, man. Okay? You despise when we come out with this word of truth, man. But it should be a joyful thing. You should be happy to know that the Lord had chosen a particular people, man. Okay, to be a nation unto himself. But you want to put the heathens in the mix. Yep. Okay, that's not the way this thing works, man. So you despise that word, and the scripture said those who despise the word of the Lord are going to be destroyed, man. But see, We don't care, and we're not worried about it, but we're ambassadors. We have a message to deliver, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't preach and teach until it is according to the scriptures, that's going to be blood on our hands. We're not going to do like particular other camps adding and taking away from the scriptures. When you go into Revelation, the 22nd chapter, it speaks on adding and taking away from the scriptures, man. We're supposed to give it to the people as it is, man. Okay? Okay? They have the scriptures, you have to, it said whether they hear or forbear, as far as come on the highways and the byways preaching this word, man. The people the word have to resonate with the people, man. You can't blindfold them and give them bits and pieces to get them to walk in your line, if you will. You know, follow you because you don't want to give them the whole truth, okay?
This book of Acts.
This is Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Scottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
And our people, they foolish, man. Sadish, golden, stupid. Our people do a lot of stupid stuff, man. Okay? And they don't know the Lord because they whole ways of functioning in society would change, man. Okay? They would not move in the way of a regular person, man. They would move with the spirit in them, man. They will be moving in a way that's not contrary to the scriptures, man. They'll be moving in a way that's going to be pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We can't uphold all the laws, statutes, commandments, man. But the effort to do the ones you can is like the elder priest Abiah says, brownie points, man. You do what you can do, man. Okay, we in the wicked kingdom, man, where Esau has everything turned upside down. But that don't mean you have to be a complete degenerate Negro, okay? Well, they don't know, bro.
Because a man gotta have some form of integrity.
Got to, man.
Some form of allegiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
This Acts 20 and 27. For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
The Lord ain't held back. He ain't keeping no, well, I ain't gonna say keeping no secrets, man, because, you know, he reveals really secrets to his elect. But he's had his elect men putting it all out there, man. You know? We're putting it all out there through the Spirit, man. Start from our apostles, our elder, bishops, and brothers on down, man, to the last one. Okay, we're putting it all out there. Everything that the Lord put on our spirit to bring out in the Bible is coming out there. That's why you have so many men and so many camps, because every aspect, every angle is being covered, man. That's why we're put in the four corners of the earth, man. Okay, it's like the web. The internet is considered like the web, right? And the web is different streams when the spider makes it, man. And when the insect or something get on that web, it sends a vibration with the signal, so that spider knows where that prey is. But in this sense, man, when you get on the internet, you can get notifications, you know, all these different things to let you know that a video has come out, man. Any part of the earth, man.
If I can add you, bro, a spider is able to maneuver on that web because of oil. It's actually suspect oil. It's just moving around that web. Hey, bro, this is on Ezekiel, and I'm going to just get to the point. Verse 17, 3 and 17. Son of man, I have made you a watchman unto the house of Israel.
A watchman. And a watchman is a person who is on the lookout to warn of any danger coming or anything like that. And that's why we stand upon our watch, man, by keeping up with current events, you know, read in particular, what's it called when news articles come through water, bro. You know, we're watching this, okay? That's it.
Yeah, that's right, bro. And because a watchman is synonymous with a prophet.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a form of prophecy. Just
Right.
like,
Because if you see, oh, you got it.
I mean, in order to say before, you have to see before. So a watchman, he sees it, then he says what he sees.
That's right.
Or seers.
I see why you raised your hand. Those got a deep one.
That's why they baby.
Before they was known as prophets, that's why they was called seers.
Yep.
Got these spiritual visions.
That's it. Back in Ezekiel 3:17, son of man, I made you a watchman into the house of Israel.
Ooh, and I gotta say this: a watchman to the nation of Israel. It didn't say a watchman to every nation. Okay, it didn't say a watchman to Moab, you know, Ammon. You know, it said to the nation of Israel. Why is that? Because Israel is the Lord's chosen people, man. The nation of Israel is who Yahweh died for.
You know, scriptures did say in Jeremiah that he was a prophet unto the nations. You know, they got here, they they judgment too that's coming.
Yeah. Condemn y'all asses. But, you know, you can't be a part of the mix.
But when it comes to the word of salvation,
Yeah.
Ezekiel 3:17. Therefore, hear the word in my mouth and give them warning from me.
When we speak, it's not our words, man. It's not our words. I mean, you got to understand it's the spirit. If you don't understand the spirit, then you're going to think it's just men up here talking, man. But the scriptures go to 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I in the midst of them, man. So when we're speaking, when we're teaching, man, the Lord's spirit is working through brothers, man. This is the message that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua wants to go forth, man.
That's it. When I say unto the wicked, you shall surely die, and you give him no warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at your hand.
And that's speaking regarding the nation of Israel. Okay? The nation of Israel, the wicked, is who that was scripture referring to. Because if we don't speak to the nation of Israel, those who are wicked, the blood is going to be upon our hand because we're not giving warning. As the elder said, a watchman have to see before he can pretty much warn, man. So if we see things happening and we don't tell our nation, the nation of Israel, about it, that blood gonna be upon our hand. But within that deliverance, we're still speaking to the wicked also. Because the wicked, it just laid flat that you are gonna be destroyed, man. Okay?
That's right. When I say, verse 18, when I say, no, I mean 19, yet if you warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you have delivered your soul.
Right. So if you're not gonna hearken, man, you know, if you're gonna act like, you know, we just out here just talking just for the hell of it, just because something to do, you know, you're gonna treat these words like water off a duck back, that's on you, okay? If hey, the Lord put the Spirit on us and we're out here on the highway byway teaching and prophesying and you hear this word and you just keep it moving, ignore it, hey, you've been marked, man, okay? That's on you. But the blood is off our hand because we have done what the Lord, you know what I'm saying, has ordained us to do.
The second Ezra 9 verse 9. Then should they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully should dwell in torments. For such in their life have received benefits and have not known me.
Yeah, because Babylon is a fucking benefit.
Yeah.
The liberties that you receive in Babylon, that's a benefit. It goes back to the time of Maccabees when the Grecians took over Jerusalem, and Jake said, man, it's too hard.
Yeah.
You know, the devil ruling over us, this shit hard. Let's acculturate ourselves, let's join ourselves to his culture so it can be easier on us. So our people, they've acculturated into the way of the Babylonians, to the way of the Romans. They received their degrees. They got into these secret societies. They've done these oaths, man. And they received the benefits of living in this society, although this was supposed to be a punishment.
Right.
Such in their life have received benefits.
Yeah.
The scripture says what? A gift destroyeth the heart.
That's right.
So a lot of the 2/3 of our people are not angry at Esau because they're drunken by his dainties.
Yeah.
They're blinded by his dainties. He's giving to his slaves, man.
He's giving them a broad way.
Right.
What you say, this Ecclesiasticus 20 and 29. presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise, and stop up his mouth that he cannot reprove.
Jay got liberated after slavery. 1865. All right, I'm sorry, brother. 1968 was the end of Jim Crow, which is really like really the end of slavery. All right. So presents and gifts, so-called integration. You know, us being able to get jobs, careers, become entrepreneurs. Like I said, get into get record deals, get NFL signed tracks, contracts, NBA contracts, rapping, singing, dancing. Hey, we got all types of entertainment. It's like a regular Edomite. We got some of the same access that the Edomite has here. President gifts. Go ahead, brother.
So back in 2 Ezra 9 verse 11, if they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty,
You loathe the law. The law was presented to you through the mouth of his prophets on the highways and the byways, man. You loathe it. Can somebody use the word loathe? And it tells you in the scripture that we know the whole thing, man. You know? Loathe, L-O-A-T-H.
so you look up the word loathe in the free dictionary, it goes into unwilling, reluctant, dislike greatly, abhor.
You dislike the law where it says thou shalt not kill. You dislike the law where it says thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. You dislike the law where it says thou shalt not steal. But ultimately, you dislike Yahweh Bashmal Shah sent his men to unplug from America. You got it, brother. I'm sorry.
No, so like he was going to like about the benefits because our people, they love to party, they got that party spirit on them. So we pretty much like those spiritual party crashers.
Yep.
So you know, when the prophets come through, and just like when Samuel came aboard, with the people trembled when they saw Samuel coming aboard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we come in that same stead. So you have that's why you have a majority of our people, they despise and they have a strong hatred or disgust for anything that's coming out with a righteous vibration.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, starting at verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
You're dismayed at Christmas. That's all Christmas is. A worship of the constellations,
Yeah.
a worship of Nimrod.
Yeah.
Easter, a worship of the constellations, a worship of Isis. Yes, that nigga, that demon, the European demon, man. Because you think this some ancient paganism shit.
Right.
No, it is ancient paganism, but you still practice it to this day.
Yeah.
Ask your mama why she celebrate Christmas. It's that nostalgia that she got from when she celebrated Christmas when she was a child.
Yeah.
Ask a grown man why he wearing a Christmas hat.
Yeah.
It's that fucking that demonic spell that people be on around that time of the year, man. Hey, Merry Christmas, y'all.
Right.
And we all in debt. We all got taken down through there in America. Hey, y'all have a happy Christmas, Happy New Year.
No.
Ain't nobody had a happy New Year. We just have a great pandemic, man. You
The
know?
Lord said people gonna be destroyed of lack of knowledge.
Yep. Can you go back to that, bro? You said a good point.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but you know, that's that vibration that the Most High put out on them. You know, they in that Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, that's a spirit for destruction. You know.
Back in Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the sign of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Yeah, be that dismayed at the sign of heaven, man. All right, because even our people, right? There's nothing wrong with the zodiac, right? But our people, especially our women, they solely go out the zodiac without the Most High, you know, without the word, without the law,
Yeah.
showing you that they're fucking pagans. Our people are in the spirit of pagans because they only go off of that shit, man.
Yeah.
What's your sign? They're trying to figure your ass out.
Right.
They're trying to figure out how you to control you. Going back to that well. I have you in that well, man.
Yeah.
But the main point is what? You're dismayed at the constellations, man. All right?
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
Yeah, what's the custom? Okay, it's June. It's gonna be July. 4th of July, Independence Day.
Yeah.
You unindependent niggas
Yeah.
celebrate Independence Day. Like Chris Rock said, when it was celebrating independence, was picking their kite.
Right. So I'm saying that.
You know, showing you that you celebrate the customs of the heathen, even if it's crapping on you, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's that that programming, man. They just want to fit in. They just want to. That's why scriptures say falling out the way of the heathen, man.
Why would I celebrate my bully stop being bullying?
Right.
Why would I celebrate my bully stop getting his ass whooped by his bully?
Right. Right.
But he's still my bully. I still got a bully.
Right.
Nah, man, it doesn't make it
make sense.
You got these simple J's they'll bring up about this Constitution or my Constitution, but when they wrote the Constitution, your ass wasn't even thought about. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
damn,
You was in the plantation.
When they
field.
said all men, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you was considered
Three-fifths
three-fifths
of
of a
a man.
man.
When they said all men are created equal, like they said you were considered 3/5 of a man. You were still legally classified as property, nigga.
That's it.
Still is. It's
Yeah.
still on the book.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
And you
still.
got the Constitution layout from Gad.
Yep.
What was the name of that tribe's called?
The Iroquois? No.
Yeah.
Was it the Iroquois?
I think so.
The Iroquois?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was them.
They came up with that constitution.
They came up with the Constitution.
Because because, hey, well,
And they patterned from the law, statutes, and the commandments.
that's right, because it says in Genesis, Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. But one of those translations, I believe it's like the NSL or something like that, it said Jacob was a civilized man
Yeah.
dwelling in tents.
Yeah.
And when the Iroquois came up with those constitutions, they were so they could all be civilized and cohabitate with other
Amongst each
tribes
other.
amongst each other.
So if you think about the Constitution, Esau took that blueprint and he utilized that so they could be civilized amongst each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Esau for Esau.
Yeah.
Jake never had nothing to do with that shit. And even George Bush said years ago, he said the Constitution ain't nothing but a piece of paper. Letting you know that eventually it was going to a new world order.
Right.
What that nigga George, what's his name? George Clooney, that comedian. I think
George
they took
Carlin?
him out. What's his name?
George Carlin?
Doug Carlin. Yeah, it was. They got a club and you ain't in it, and that's he meant that. You know. All right. Back in Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. For one that cutteth a tree out of the forest.
And you do it around Christmas. And you can go to like a farmer's market. You can go to certain places and they got all those what are those? Cedar trees. They got all those cedar trees shaped like a triangle, man. Just balled up, wrapped up, man.
That's right.
You know?
And if you're lazy to cut it, you can get your artificial one. Go straight to your attic.
Or they'll cut it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I can say that's one of the reasons the fir trees gonna rejoice, man, when the righteous are in authority, because you know the spirit of them trees, they dread this goddamn Christmas coming around, because they cut down thousands and thousands and thousands.
And the trees got spirits.
And the trees got spirits.
So you know they're grieved during a certain time of the year.
Yeah.
Like the Canadian wildfire. You see how many trees getting destroyed because of that?
And
man?
millions of acres.
And you have a helicopter flying over and just pouring fire out in the trees, man.
And the way you know this is a high holy day for Satan, because paganism is like a come up for crafters. Going back to the scriptures, when they told those Jakes told Paul, we have no queen but Diana. So they said what? If this man tell these people who the true God is, they're not going to worship Diana, which means that we can't make idols out of Diana. So if everybody stops celebrating Christmas, if all Jakes stop celebrating Christmas, you know how many stores will go down?
That's right.
You know?
That's crazy, guys.
Michael Jackson told you she was dirty.
Yeah, Dirty Diana.
These
That's a good one.
farms will just become forests, man.
Yep.
They be growing these trees and just to cut down.
Yep.
Jake, they the poorest people, but at the same time, they the biggest consumers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
You get all that high tailor fashion, and meanwhile you stay in the ghetto.
Yep.
Balenciaga,
Yeah.
Gucci, Louis.
What's that song? Was that Snoop Dogg? Santa Claus, come straight to the ghetto. It was one of those rappers.
Yeah, that was
What that is?
Snoop Dogg Pound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got that out from James.
They got it originally James Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, James Brown.
Is it James Brown?
Yeah.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
They go and the work of the hands of the workman. Like you said, you can pay somebody to chop it down. You can pay somebody to wrap it up for you. That's how they get their bag, man.
But they can't do it themselves.
They can't do it themselves, man. These
True.
dumb items.
That's right.
They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it not move, that it move not.
And that's the phallic symbol of Nimrod, man. All right, and if you go into the whole sum of the matter,
Yeah.
whether it's the demise of mankind during the time of the flood, whether it's the diaspora, us leaving Jerusalem, it all goes back to idolatry.
That's it.
It all goes back to idolatry.
You know, and that ain't nothing but an evil suspicion.
Yep.
What Eve did in the garden was nothing but a fucking evil suspicion.
It was a philosophy. Like you said, it created an evil suspicion. It made her question what she was taught by Adam.
That's
It
right.
felt good.
And it felt empowering. That's why Eve is getting her end of the deal now with women's empowerment. All right?
Can I bring out a quick one up? Hey, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 and 24. For many, you know what, let me start 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shown unto you than men understand.
Speak that science, guys.
That's right, and that's what Eve couldn't understand, man. Because you had the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Shah. However, you was enticed by the spirit of Satan when he came as that man that was crafty like a serpent, man.
He had that left hand science.
Man.
He had that, that's why Eve is so enchanted with that left side.
Yeah.
Eve is, she's getting into it, man.
That's right.
Every day Eve that work at TJ Maxx, she's getting into that science,
Bro,
man.
sage and
Yeah.
shit now, bro.
Rituals, new moon.
Yeah.
You should say something, bro?
Yeah, and that was an act of adultery as well, man. Because just she took the order of the serpent, which was a man, to do his bid, man.
Yeah.
A woman don't supposed to be first. You don't supposed to be around another man by yourself any damn way. And the approach is supposed to get on down, but you don't supposed to be taking his orders to do nothing, man.
That's right.
But you know what? I believe because the serpent, with the man that was moving like the spirit of a serpent, I believe he was in the same position as Haman with the Persians. He was in I think they call it a vessel state, which is like you actually in alliance with the ruling kingdom, but the ultimate goal is to overthrow them.
Right.
And basically Haman got exposed for that, the overthrow. So showing you that I believe the serpent, all right, was in that same spirit because Adam was the king of the earth.
right.
That was the first kingdom on earth was under the sons of Adam, things of that nature. So I believe that that man was like a vessel to Adam.
It makes sense because he had to be in a place of authority to get so close to him.
If you go into Second Ezra, if you go into Esther in the Apocrypha, it tells you that Haman was wise.
Yeah.
He was very wise. They would even call him father or something like that. But Haman was a wise counselor. So showing you that he was in that same spirit that the serpent was in. So that serpent had to have some type of wisdom, all right, to even be close to Adam, to be in a position to talk to his woman like that. This is probably a counselor, an advisor. But he was a wise man and knew all the sciences.
Right.
He had that. I mean, it's all you can only.
It makes sense though.
I mean, he proved it today. I mean, because what he'll sit down with another man's woman or another a man's baby mama, and be like, well, we can get you in this apartment or this house, but your husband can't live with you, your boyfriend can't be with you, just got to be you and your kids.
Right.
You know?
That's awful.
That's
Over,
all.
the ulterior motive is an overthrow.
To overthrow.
It's always an overthrow.
Hey, think about the movie 300. After Leonidas had dipped out to go fight the Persians.
Yeah.
And remember, like, your boy that was working for the Persians, look how close he was to his wife.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was trying to do a coup within Sparta, but at the same time, he was wicked. But at the same time frame, he still had a place of authority because he was able to fucking bump arms
He
with
rubbed
Eve.
elbows
I mean,
with
not Eve,
everybody.
but Leonidas' wife.
Yeah, but that came to mind too. That same man you talking about,
Yeah.
that came to mind. And he had to have some type of rank, man.
That's right.
You know?
A little more, Elder. Ecclesiasticus 3:24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion,
Yep.
and an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment.
And that's what Esau has given you the liberty to do. He's giving you the liberty to have your own vain opinion. Because you can say you believe in God or the Bible, but if your actions are inconsistent with the Bible, then really you're going off your own vain opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do what I was taught, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What my family doing by tradition, you know?
Yeah.
That's an old vain opinion at the end of the day, you know? And this Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10, when we on down, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
Never trust thy enemy. All right, but Eve has trusted the enemy. You get all type of videos. Eve got a baby in her hand saying, please be a gay baby. Please don't be a gay baby. You know? But the whole child support thing, that's a war tactic. Child support, abortions, all right? Alimony.
And you correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the some Edomite man was at the forefront even bringing child support to the table. If I'm not mistaken, it was an Edomite dude, man. I don't think it was no woman that did it.
It makes sense. Because even when they came with taxing male and female, they were saying that basically, okay, we can get more income from these two parties, and at the same time frame, now the woman is not at home, and now we can raise your child in our school system.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, bro.
Because, Esau always gonna try to be in the shadows, man. And he gonna put somebody out there up front to do his dirty work. But he's gonna be somewhere in the shadows pulling the strings, man. Because, hey, Job 9:24. And who's the most wicked? The Edomite man.
So it says, and thou should know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. It says, verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. That's what he did pretty much to Adam. You know what I'm saying? And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?
And that's what happened, man. Eve was playing with that serpent back in the garden, man. And our nation got bit. That's why the school says beauty is vain and favor is deceitful, but the word favor goes back to charm. He was charming her with that philosophy of that left hand side.
Right, because in 2 Corinthians, I want to say when it goes into how the serpent beguiled Eve, when those synonyms goes into by charm. So he pretty much ran game to her, Just like you see a chick at the bar and she's kind of like intoxicated. Listen, you see somebody talking to her at the bar, and he taking her ass to the house, man.
That's what happened with Eve. She got spiritually intoxicated.
Yeah, she got spiritually intoxicated by the different doctrines that this serpent was pushing out. And next thing you know, she went home with this serpent, man.
And the law goes into if thou entice the maid to lay with you.
Right.
He spiritually enticed that woman, Eve, to lay with him.
She didn't scream rape.
She didn't scream
And the
rape.
scriptures tell you, sit not with another man's wife. It tells you that, So who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come now wild beasts?
Can I say something? Since we're going into it from the spiritual standpoint, Yahweh Shem Al did when Eve was bitten, when Adam was bitten too, he did not have pity on Eve, Adam and Eve. He still brought that judgment.
When say through her we all die.
Yeah.
So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
So when our nation went down, what was Esau? What was the serpent? He was in the corner clapping his hands. Because that was the play all along.
Verse 16, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee in a pit.
Surely you won't die.
I should not surely die. This boy was slick, man.
It's smooth.
And that's how we know it's you, Esau, because Esau, you got something called newspeak, all right? You got something called politically correct. You got something called jargon, semantics.
Yeah, semantics.
Because you were, when you give your speeches, or let's say you're a politician, and you're a jargon, you will speak a certain language that goes over the layman's head. So eventually you'll throw a whole bunch of unnecessary words that cause you to circumvent and really be indirect. You're the master of deceit.
Hey, Elder, to prove your point, that's why when you go into like certain contracts with this Edomite, you have to have a lawyer to break down the words. Because the words are gonna go over your head.
Right.
Then that nigga always got some fine print that you need a damn magnifying glass to see, man.
It's deceit, man. You can just hold some other thing. It's deceit, man. It's sorcery, man. All right, you got it, brother.
Go ahead, my brother.
So he says, the enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee in a pit.
Because Roman Catholicism, trickling down to Christianity, that's your enemy speaking sweetly with his lips. Esau, selling Israelites Christianity, and those priests, those Catholic priests coming to the Americas, they were speaking sweetly with their lips, man.
Missionaries.
Yeah, brother, get that in Psalm, in Psalm 55. The words of his mouth are smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. I might be wrong on the scripture. We have a nature to you, man. And what we're doing now, this is education. Because the scripture says to never trust thy enemy, But I mean, there's a Japanese quote in The Art of War: "Know thy enemy."
Yeah.
So part of coming back to your nationality, when you know who you are as an Israelite, you gotta know who your opposition is.
That's it.
All right.
Because basically what you're trying to do is you want to know your enemy so you can beat him at his weakness.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't want to push him towards his strength. No, you want to divert him towards his weakness. And what the Sons do say, hey, if you know your enemy better than yourself, there's no need to fear it, even if you have to go against him 1,000 times.
That's basically Esau game, because look at war, look at boxing.
That's right.
You study your opponent. Look at football. You study your opponent to find their weakness. Look at basketball. So basically, it's everything.
That's it, bro. That's it.
This the book of Psalms, chapter 55, starting verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Now, how did that manifest? It started in the scriptures. It started in Genesis.
Yeah, it did.
Thou shalt not surely die.
Yeah.
He told Eve that you're a goddess.
Yeah.
You know, you're a god. That's why your vagina and life comes from your vagina, your womb. You're the mother of all living.
I done touched the hair and shit.
Yeah. The Most High doesn't want you to know your true power because he feels you're going to be equal with him. You're over Adam. Adam should worship the ground you work. You know, we can only, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Might not be precise exact, but we
Yeah.
know it was in that category of
Yeah.
talking, man.
But you gotta see it though.
Yeah.
It was enchanting.
Yeah.
And you know how a woman is, man. She'll like you be talking to her, and she just be still listening.
Yeah.
She be mesmerized.
There you go, bro.
She be like, you deep, bro.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. And I'm gonna say this too. And then since we're doing what they call it, extrapolation is basically when you have to take things from the scriptures and build using your mind to
What?
bring it close to home.
Well, you know, extrapolate like you extract. Like you read a book that's garbage, right? But it got facts in it.
Right.
So you extrapolate by taking the facts out and leaving the garbage.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, I see what you're saying,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, because I heard Apostle Gabar say you have to use it. Well, you mean whatever.
Yeah.
You right. He said
Pretty much like you
this-
taking a hose, you know, you move them to the side, you get the beat out of it.
Yeah. So I will say this, dealing with Samson, you know, it took a minute for Delilah to break him down.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing happened with Adam. It didn't happen overnight. It was a process of time. Because you know anything with your woman, if you tell her no, she gonna come back, she gonna come back, she gonna come back until you're broken down.
And speak, okay, the water, bro. It's a lot for you to get, you know. But in Genesis 25, Salah. In Ecclesiastes 7 and 26, I find more bitter than death the one whose heart snares and nets. If you could look up the word nets, it's going to go into a key word that I want to get into. Since you just brought out that point. That's my water bottle, please. But because it makes this a beautiful point. Adam was a king, and men in the ancient world had strong minds. So you're not going to get overthrown by a woman's flattery overnight. But women have a nature about themselves, females have a nature about themselves that pervades, that dominates all time, that exists in every age. And it's their strength when it comes to men. All right, we're going to get it when we get that scripture. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 7 and 26, then you get the word next. Or if you already got the word next, another brother can get that scripture. I meant good. Yeah, there you go.
This Ecclesiastes 7:26, and I found more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets,
Yep.
and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner should be taken by her.
Now, it was meant for Adam to be taken by his own, because that was part of the grand scheme of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, because he represented Adam, the first blueprint, the first rough draft, which was always imperfect. If you are an artist, you are an architect, you're gonna have a rough draft, but you're gonna erase that thing and redraw it several times, man. All right?
With the term papers back in the day.
Yo, you're done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, you have that rough draft set up first.
Yep.
This is Daniel 10 and 12, going to your point. I started 11. Daniel 10 and 11. And he said unto me, O Daniel, sorry, 10. Daniel 10 and 10. And behold, an hand touched me which set me on my knees and on the palms of my hands. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto you, and stand upright, for unto you am I now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that you did set your mind to understand and to chasten yourself before your power, your words were heard, and I am come for your words. And this is the point of it. Verse 13. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 120 days. So here you had Yahushua and Michael working on the mindset of the prince of Persia, and basically it took them 21 days to convince this man. So that shows you how strong men were back then.
Look at the two top. That's your house shot.
And Michael, right.
You know?
Again, verse Daniel 10 and 13. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 120 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia.
So we're gonna get that word dex, because the Adamites, the Israel, the sons of Yahweh, their weakness is a woman throughout all history. All right, but we're gonna get specifically how that played out in history. All right, you got it.
All right, this is nets. It is a thing devoted, thing dedicated, band devour. Devotion. A net, a thing perforated, have been utterly destroyed, utter destruction.
All right, go to snares. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go back. Go back to the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a free sub.
I got one.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right, just basically going into what we're talking about.
All right.
You know, and this one reason why Solomon will probably put this out. He said, this is Proverbs 6 and 23.
You want me to read it for you, bro?
I got it.
Okay.
For the commandments is a lamp, and the law is light,
Right.
and reproof of instructions are the way of life. So that's why we got to have these commandments.
Yeah.
And going into verse 24, it said to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman.
And that's a philosophy.
Right.
That's a philosophy. And that's what the serpent brought to Eve, was a different philosophy, because Eve had an evil suspicion to begin with.
Yeah, and Eve
Great
questioned
research,
shit.
bro.
They said that strange woman.
Strange woman. Because really, we're the woman of Yahweh Hashem Shah, or our woman from a symbolic standpoint is this doctrine, is this truth. That's why we're also considered as the Most High's first love, right? But then, when we committed that spiritual fornication, we're sleeping with other women.
Yeah, because like it says in Revelation, remember thy first love.
Mm-hmm.
So our first love is this truth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, even going back to the beginning, but that old cunt came at us. Have y'all ever seen that movie, I Think I Love My Wife, with Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that was a good movie, right?
It was dope.
Because he had a solid woman, right?
Yeah.
This was pretty solid.
Yeah.
But then that young thing came around, that old friend,
That's
that
it.
potty girl.
That's it.
But guess what happened when she came around? His life started fucking up.
That's it.
His life started fucking up, man.
Right.
It was like, damn. But she really represent like that strange woman.
Yeah,
But yo, she hit the, what's my girl name? Oh, I can't think of the girl name. She also played in The Last King of Scotland too. But anyway, she was a fun girl.
Yeah.
You know, that's that strange woman is enticing.
Right.
She wanted to go out to parties, and she had him like outside of his normalcy. But his life started going out of balance, man. Yeah, man.
Let me read one more. This is verse 25. It says, lust not after her beauty in thy heart.
What's the beauty? How deep that philosophy is.
Yeah.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah.
Oh, you know?
That's right.
Spit that science, yo.
Right.
So when that serpent was kicking it at Eve, over a period of time, he was just showing her different things, showing mathematics and constantly all type of sorcery, man.
That's it.
Showing her, look, see, really you don't even need Adam to have a baby.
Yeah.
You know, they get into that now. You don't need Adam, you can have a baby through your fallopian. You know what I mean?
Right.
Miracle Light Wife.
Yeah,
She came
yeah,
out with that
yeah.
doctrine. You know?
Yeah, it had to come from somewhere.
Yeah. You believe me, then you will be over here.
Right.
You know? Seduced. She was seduced.
Yeah.
Right. Neither let her take thee with her eyelids.
Yep.
Hey, you gotta be careful when you looking at these women in their eyes, man.
It's a manipulation
That's
tactic.
that manipulation tactic, bro. You know? And what happened when Eve was looking into the serpent eyes, you know what I'm saying? What happened? She got swayed away. And she committed a one-night stand.
Right. Since you said that, one more. Verse 26, it said, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread.
And how are we brought to a piece of bread through a whorish woman? We fell out of rulership
That's it. That's
through
it.
the philosophies of the serpent,
That's it.
which is symbolically a whorish woman.
That's right.
Through the beguilement of Eve.
That's it.
All right, if you could get that. All right.
This is what for nets? It says nets are used for blandishments of women.
So that's metaphor. The metaphor, the nets in Ecclesiastes 7:26 is used of the blandishments of women. Now let's see what that word blandishments means.
So when you look up the word blandish in the free dictionary, it goes into to coax by flattery or wheedling. And right here it says often something as an action or speech that tends to entice.
All right. So she enticed him. All right, through flattery. All right. It's another word. If you go to the synonyms for blandishments, adulations, flattery, incense, language, all right. Coaxing. She coaxed them over a period of time, just like what was that, Delilah with Samson?
Yeah.
She coaxed them.
Yeah. Because it even said that before Samson finally broke, he was grieved. You know what I'm saying? Because she kept asking him the same shit over and over and over, and then she broke him. She conquered him, and then the Most High let those Philistines conquer him. Because the covenant or the agreement was amongst the Most High and Samson. Not because he cut his hair, it's because he broke the contract. You know, he went back on his word.
So once you look up that word coax, C-O-A-X, to persuade or to try to persuade by pleading or flattery, to obtain by persistent persuasion.
To obtain by persistent persuasion. To obtain, like y'all was breaking down, she didn't conquer Adam overnight. She did it over a period of time through consistent persuasion. All right. So the word nets goes back to blandishments, and the blandishments goes back to coaxing. Coaxing goes back to persuade over consistent persuasion.
Right.
Something to that effect.
Just speculating, she probably got him, the time frame pillow talk.
Right.
You know, so afterwards,
After that ejaculation.
Yeah.
I mean, you weak.
Yeah.
You weak, man. So over a period of time. And then something you learn about women is that if they want something from you, they're really nicer ahead of time.
Right.
So she probably did extra things ahead of knowing that what she really wanted in the end goal. Damn, she cooking that meal I really wanted.
And Jake just tell me that not too long with this week, like his wife has been talking to her. Like, man, since we about to get paid, man, she come to me, rubbing my shoulders and stuff like that. Man, that's a woman for you.
That's a woman, man.
But that's a manipulation tactic at the end of the day as well. You know? And that's why the scriptures confirm, really look at this woman as a strange woman, these other doctrines, man. A lot of our people, they get enticed by this, like polite in his doctrine, stuff like that, because it's not simple. Because when the scriptures talk about the simplicity of Yahushua, it's simple, it makes sense. You don't have to go all type of levels try to get the understanding of it. It's just simple, man. When you go through this what's the Sarnella doctrine they call it? That Kemet doctrine, you know what I'm saying? Look how
Complex.
look how complex and just diverse that shit is, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people gravitate onto that, man.
What Q say in the car? Something about the stars. Y'all sound like Elroy Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, it don't make sense, man. It's just a whole bunch of juggle, man.
It make you sound good when you say it. All right.
This is First Ezra chapter 4, starting at verse 22. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you, and do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a
Let's
man.
just be real. Even from a physical sense, the reason why Jake hustled like that because Jake want the woman. I mean the woman. In certain cases, Jake wants the woman more than he wants the money. This high value man is all about basically putting yourself in a position not so you can be straight, but you can have better choices in women.
Alpha male strategy said it.
I'm telling
That's
you.
why they go through the high value man stage.
Yeah.
Because it's a woman at the end of the day.
It's all about the fucking woman, man.
You can perceive as a high value man that increases your sexual market value.
Yeah.
So
You
you
know?
still upholding her. You're supposed to be a high value man, but you still upholding her as a prize. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 23. Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers, and look upon a lion.
Hey, Trey Songz, they just gotta make it. What he say on the chorus? Everything I do for you and we.
Yeah.
You know, so a nigga put his life on the line for his woman.
And that reminds me of the movie Troy. You say sail the sea. You know, they put the war on that one woman. I remember Mike Tyson said in one of his documentaries, he said something to the effect of like, he always wanted a lot of women. He said he never knew that they could take so much from him. And I don't think he just meant money. It was like
Spirit,
the spirit.
Succubus, man.
Yes, a succubus is they're innervating.
Yeah.
And they're sapping, man. It took their strength from you, man.
Some cold words they give you, and all the evil that they do to you. I mean, it cuts your heart.
Yeah.
It cuts your desire. You know, it cuts you from wanting to do. You know, but like the scriptures say, you know, a woman that soothes it or come to her man and she prolonged his life. You know, roughly paraphrase.
That's it. Right.
So she could be an extreme asset or extreme liability. It's all what the Most High got planned for you.
Back in verse 24. And when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, and he bringeth it to his love, wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother, yea, many be that have run out of their wits for women.
A man will actually move to another state and leave his aging father and mother. For real.
And when a man doesn't move, leave his camp. He'll leave the post and go dip off with a woman you met, man. And it's nothing wrong with loving your woman. We're not acting like we're just so callous we hate her.
Right.
But the truth comes first.
Yeah.
And we're not leaving posts for a woman, man.
Nigga turn to Jaheim.
Yeah. But you saw what happened to Jaheim.
Finished.
And that's part of the problem. The women of today don't know the order. They don't know the order that it's Yahweh Shah, you know, man, and then woman.
Yeah.
But you know, they want to, you know, Esau, like we're going into, Esau has flipped it to where they're above the man, so we're supposed to cater to them.
Right.
And then what we do, we go chasing after them, but they should be chasing us.
And that's what it is, and that's right, bro. And then even human nature will tell you, once you start putting your all into your woman finds you less attractive. Why? Because you've been conquered. You know, we're not saying you be told asshole, but no, you don't put that woman where if she leaves, then your happiness is just gone. You're gonna fall out and die. No, you see, everything is in moderation, but you don't never give anybody your fucking all.
Penalize her.
Huh?
We don't penalize her.
Nah.
That's why the
Yeah.
scriptures say, give not thy glory to another.
Right, so you love your woman, but you don't be in love with your woman. Head over heels, motherfucker leaving you depressed for 6 months. And that's not to say, like they ought to say, that you don't love your woman, but everything comes after this truth.
You know what I realized?
What's that, bro?
Even outside the truth, men have to have fulfillments.
Yeah,
Like you have to have things that bring you joy outside of a woman.
yeah.
Like you might like playing the piano. Of course, the truth is number one, but you might like painting. You know, you might have a Sunday pastime.
Yeah.
Men have to have that.
Yeah.
We live in a woman's reality. We live in a woman's world, and we were never taught to have our pastimes. You gotta have your things, man.
That's right.
Because sometimes you might give a woman too much energy because you ain't got nothing. You don't got a fucking life.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your thing, man?
right.
Like you don't got like a Yu-Gi-Oh card collection. You know, you ain't got no nerd in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you can just have like the small personal gains, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to obtain in this society.
Yeah.
Just things like you won't fully put your energy into that woman.
Yeah. Because a lot of times what I'm realizing is you have voids in your life and your spirit and you're projected on a woman. And what happens is you want her to fill a certain void that she's not supposed to fulfill.
Right.
It's supposed to already be fulfilled before you get her.
That's it.
That's why it's like you know, that way she really don't come first.
Right.
And it's not like you're trying to purposely be that person, but you do have your own
Yeah,
happiness.
you got to.
They feel that too.
Yeah.
You know?
The woman wants you to be mysterious.
Yeah.
And every time you pick up the phone, you're not answering the phone and things of that nature are just coming. Because a woman just wants to be in that situation. What is he doing?
Right.
You know, you only are, we're not saying you could be doing something, but just don't be on a leash.
Right.
Because we're not in the ancient world anymore where there's a natural order.
Right.
Where she was raised to know her role
Yeah.
and she was a part of your estate. Now we're really going off instincts.
That's it.
So instinctively they want what they perceive as a valuable male.
That's it.
You know?
And they showed us that in the movie Coming to America, part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. Bring
You
it
know?
down, bro.
Just like in part 1, you know, his father was giving him a woman that was going to cater to his needs and cater to him, but he didn't want that.
He was watching all those Disney movies growing up.
Right. He wanted to come to the West to find him a woman that's going to tell him what to do.
He wanted a queen.
Right.
Thank you.
And she was trained as a young woman too.
Right.
To like what he likes, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
And by the sequel, she was still barking.
Right.
That's
Oh, look,
crazy.
pretty ass. Yeah, she was still pretty. Yeah.
So you know, in today's time, you know, that's what the men seek, that are not following after the Most High. You know, in the men of the churches, what do they do? Well, it's whatever the mother wants, it's whatever the wife wants. You know, he's catering to her. You know, opposed to her catering to him.
Yeah, I heard an old Jake. I was at the fishing with an old Jake. I was doing some work stuff, but he was fishing. He was a preacher that owned a church. He was like, y'all got a boss lady? He was like, every man got a boss lady. Yeah.
Look, the only boss lady you should ever have is your mother.
Right.
That's it.
If your ass on the plantation, he might put Eve over you. So that ain't your, that ain't your
right,
fault.
right,
That ain't your fault.
Right. Not willingly, yeah.
Not willingly.
That's my mom.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And even with mama gonna come a time in every man's life where mama gotta realize this ain't my baby no more.
Right.
Like you her baby, but you ain't her baby.
Yeah.
Right.
Respect you, but
Yeah.
respectfully,
Yeah.
recognize
Mom.
that.
Right.
Like respectfully, I'm not going back to church, mom.
Yeah.
I love you, mom.
Right. Like
You know?
Howard Shaw, he had to respectfully check his mother, man.
Right.
Like my father's business.
That's right. That's
He was
right.
12 years old at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that movie.
They call a woman.
What
Woman.
about you? But you?
Woman.
Hey, but y'all saw the first Roots.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna let you get the scripture because I know it's a lot of talking. No, but you saw the first movie Roots, man. It's a good one too. With LeVar Burton playing Kunta. I know you. Yeah. So long story short, over there in West Africa, they had passenger rights. So before you could obtain a woman, the way you could obtain a woman and start a family, you had to pass your passenger rights. So that was out in the woods, and that was with the elder men, the elder warriors. They had to go through passenger rights, man. You had to prove that you was a warrior.
Yeah, I can't remember that thing.
You have to prove that you was a hunter, if I'm not mistaken. Because you got to prove that you can protect your family, provide for your family.
Yeah.
But when he finally passed that passenger rights, he went back to his mom. His mom gave him an order. He said, "Woman, don't tell me what to do." And she said, "I'm sorry." He was like 15. He said something to the effect, "Do not tell me what to do." She was like, it hit her like, "Oh, he's a man now."
He's a man.
He passed. She was like, "I'm sorry." She humbled.
You're my Lord.
Yeah. So, but he passed the passenger rights. So it was beautiful. But the point was, he was like 15, and showed his mama like, "I'm a man now."
Yeah.
You know?
And according to the scriptures, we become men and women at the age of 12. Even puberty means adulthood.
Yep. Hey, and you be lit at 12.
Yeah.
You know, you be ready, man. I mean, I'm being subjective, but at 12, man, Judas Alliance wept. You know? They call it Danish.
That saying comes with a lot of women talking about women mature before men. I don't know where that comes
That
from.
came from this shit, bro.
I saw a post yesterday. This girl, she said, "At what age do?" It was a little boy and a man. He had a sign. Well, a little boy had a sign saying, "At what age do I come from cute to scary?" White woman, Karen, posting on the post at the age of 12.
Hey, but he said a little Jake asked that. Hey, but no,
Some of it,
because we got nephews, right? A lot of us got sons and nephews, man. When they get around that middle school era, that's when they start being cute, man. That's facts. When they get in that middle school, that's when they start getting in trouble.
Yeah.
They start going their daddy features.
Yeah.
When Jake turned 12, he started getting his daddy face, man.
Voice might start changing.
Yeah, that face started, because everybody,
Challenge your dad.
yeah, everybody love that puppy pit bull.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody love a puppy pit bull. When that pit bull hit puberty and that face started widening, and now it's scary. Now everybody's scared of that pit bull.
And a lion like that too.
A lion is like
A
that.
lion is like that.
That's,
why-
yep, you got it, bro.
That's why the old men say, "Oh yeah, you smelling yourself now."
Hey, what they call it? Your nuts drop.
Yeah.
Your nuts didn't drop, man. You know?
Get back in this first Ezra, chapter 4, verse 26. Yea, many therefore be that have run out their wits for women and become servants for their sake.
If I can add, when you become servants or when you run out your wits for women, that means you're falling in love with them. See, the difference with the man and a woman, and a man loving his father and a man loving his mother, he doesn't fall in love with those two individuals. That's why the scripture states that a man's glory is his woman. Right? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women.
That's it.
And now do you
Try
not
to do this for this woman. Or if I get to this position in life, I'll get more women. You know?
and now do ye not believe me? Is it not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see and happen the king's concubine, the daughter of the admiral Bardacus, sitting at the right hand of the king and taking the crown from the king's head and sitting it upon her own head. She also struck the king with her left hand.
So she took the crown from his ass and then she smacked him. Now let that been a man. He would have died on sight.
Yep. And that's, you can almost symbolically look at that when a man, build up, he done bought him a house, car and stuff, the deal he went with family. And then, he done got all this stuff and she take everything from him, man. That's like taking his crown. This is all the thing he's worked to accomplish, man. Like she ain't took no jump shot, but yet still she got everything that this man had built and done left him, man.
You wasn't with me when I was shooting in the gym?
Oh.
Hey,
Hey, I got one. Luke 14:26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and sons and brethren.
So what does that mean? You literally supposed to hate your family?
No,
No, it's not literal.
not in the will of.
Exactly. You're supposed to have an indifferent opinion if your father wants you to denounce his truth. If your mother wants you to not go to camp. Hey, respectfully, Mom, hey, you do what you gotta do, I will do what I gotta do.
be about our father's business.
That's it, bro.
That's why you have to be set apart, be holy.
And you learn the hard way. Let me finish this up. Luke 14:26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and sons and brethren and sisters, yea, in his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And something I learned, man, you made a beautiful point. You got to be set apart. It's not really worth being around your family all the time. Or different family gatherings.
Yeah.
Or like, you got a woman, man, she wants you to be with her family. You find out there's no fucking point. Because all you're going to do is have restrictions that are going to irritate them.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're going to be flirting with like being close to the idol worship and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not even, like,
Boy, by all means.
yeah. But
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
you do what you gotta do. I'm not saying, bro, you
But it's
shouldn't.
gonna be vexing.
It's gonna be vexing, man. It's like it's no such thing as halfway crook.
Yeah.
Somebody that's learned from experience, man. Just go all in with this. When the Most High gonna give you whoever He gonna give you.
Got a precept for y'all.
All right.
Genesis 21 and verse 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, when she had born into Abraham mocking. And so he was mocking Isaac. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac.
And was that Galatians 4
Yeah.
that reference that?
Yeah.
Did you ever read the New Living Translation of that?
Need to
Oh
check
my
it out.
gosh. Yeah, because the New Living Translation basically showed you that when she said cast out the bondwoman and his son, that was casting out like the laws. The abundance of the law. That's why it's called the bond woman. Yeah. Let's go, man.
What was that you was in?
I'm in Genesis 21:10, bro.
And then references Galatians 4.
Yeah. Can I bring out the point so you can bring out that point? You cool with that? All right, just a little more. Genesis 21:11. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And the Most High said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in your sight because of the lad, and because of your bondwoman, in all that Sarah has said unto you, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall your seed be called. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is your seed. This is the point. Verse 14. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba.
Yep.
And the reason why I brought that point out, because she didn't get had. He gave her bread and water.
Galatians 4. We do that same concept with KJV and NLT. But Galatians 4 is going to reference that scripture.
We read it report.
Yeah, Catherine, the blonde woman,
Yeah,
bought
yeah.
the shop. But you said she never got child support. Why would you give? Because the woman, it was known that the woman is a possession of the man.
Right.
So the woman desires divorce or they split. Why would you give everything to the woman?
That's right.
If the man is the one that has the money to be on child support,
Right.
wouldn't it make more sense to make him keep the child?
That's it.
Think so.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like then he got the go ahead, where you from?
No, just a simple concept. I see the dude said. He said they were talking about, the woman supposed to have the child support. He said, well, if I put money in the Pepsi machine, the Pepsi come out. Is the Pepsi mine of the machine?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's only it should be the man, because the man puts out the seed. That's his product.
yeah.
You plant a garden, you disc up the land. You plant your crops or whatever. When they grow, who does it belong to? The garden or you?
That's it. And even when you go into that term alimony, it means nourish. So meaning your wife can be separated or divorced from you, and a man is ordered to pay alimony.
Right.
Well, why am I nourishing you when we're no longer together anyway?
Right. And I was reading this off child support. The government in 2021, I think, made $1.6 billion, man. So if it's child support, if you're ordered to pay $200 a month in child support, shouldn't that child get that whole $200? I mean, it's child support. But that woman is probably gonna receive, I would say, estimate like 160. That whole 200 is not going, so it's not child support. It's a hoax.
It's woman support.
That's it.
She's using that child support on her desires.
And look what that has done to our nation. So it elevated Eve to a certain extent. Look at our nation, man. It's trash, man.
Women have made it a business, man, because it's come out of their own mouth, man, that they have children, try to have children by particular men so they can get money off of them. Trapping them up.
And this is back in Genesis 21:8. And a child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And the Most High said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in your sight because of the lad, and because of your bondwoman, and all that Sarah hath said unto you, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall your seed be called.
Yep. Isaac shall your seed be called, which engenders to us. But we've been engendered from that. What you go ahead, brother?
All right, this is Galatians 4, verse 24. I'm going to read this in the NLT. These two women serve as an illustration of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua two covenants.
It's about Sarah and Hagar, the bondwoman.
The first woman, Hagar, represented Mount Sinai, where people received the law that enslaved them. And now Jerusalem is just like Mount Sinai, in Arabia. Because she and her children lived in slavery to the law. But the other woman, Sarah, represents the heavenly Jerusalem. She is the free woman, and she is our mother. As Isaac said, rejoice, O childless woman, you who have never given birth, break into a joyful shout, Salaki. You who have never been in labor, for the desolated woman now has more children than the woman who lived with her husband.
And the point was this, that Hagar represented the laws. That's why Sarah said, cast out the bondwoman. But that was an allegory or foreshadowing of the Most High casting out the bondage of the laws.
That's right.
So, as I think you did in verse 30.
Okay. Verse 30, he said, but what do the scriptures say about that? Get rid of the slave and her son. For the son of the slave woman will not share the inheritance with the free woman's son.
Now, that was literal. But it was also an allegory because Sarah actually said, cast out the bondwoman. And as it says in Galatians 4:24 and 25, that was an allegory for basically the Most High casting away the law or the bondage of the law. We were in bondage the way that Hagar was a bondwoman. All right? And that's really why Sarah really represented Hagar in the spirit, because this represented basically the spirit of Yahushua resenting the law, so to speak, or the bondage of the law. That's why there was always resistance between Yahushua and the Pharisees. All right, they represented Sarah resenting that bondwoman. It's the same thing. Wisdom resenting that the bondage of the law. You know, if that makes sense. You know, through the spirit of Yahushua. Yep. All right, is it on that?
I'll do 31. It says, so dear brothers and sisters, we are not children of the slave woman. We are children of the free woman.
Yep. And it's literal, but it's also spiritual. We're not children of Ishmael. We're not Ishmaelites. We're not Arabs. That's why I said a stranger should dwell in Baghdad. You see? I'm sorry, a stranger should dwell in Ashdod. All right? Bastard should dwell in Ashdod. Which is literal. But also, we're not of the law anymore. We're not bondage of the law. That's why we don't make a big deal out of the fringes and, you know. But it says in the land of drawn, we should rehearse the righteous, the land of drawn waters, we should rehearse the righteous acts. That one too. All right?
You want that boy?
Come, that'll work.
This is Judges 5 and 11. It states, they that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord Yahweh, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord Yahweh go down to the gates.
And that's figurative language. Drawing waters represents captivity. So in the place of drawing waters, which is America, this is where we serve slavery. All right? But this is where we're going to rehearse the righteous acts. Pursuing to Ezekiel 37, we waking up to our nationality. Revelation 11 and 8. Baruch 4 is it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh. So been returned, seek him 10 times more. We're rehearsing in the land of our captivity, so we remember ourselves. So part of, though you once knew this. All right, but the brother wants to jump in, you know. But in the land of our captivities, so we remember ourselves, man. So a part of remembering ourselves, also remembering the natural order between a man and a woman. You know, we're no more under that matriarch because we're basically, most of us is under a matriarch. Christianity is basically queen of heaven worship. It's spun from Roman Catholicism. It's spun from Mary being the Immaculate Mother. So it automatically kicked off woman worship. All right? And we're no more under Edomite supremacy. Going back to Christianity, at least the Muslims, they wrong, but at least they didn't believe in an Edomite God. Christianity, you're born into Edomite supremacy. You know? So, we're no more under, as a matter of fact, get that in Isaiah, it said, arise and shine and shake thyself from the dust. I said, any brother want to jump in? Yeah. Okay, get that breath put back in. Yeah.
It's that's true, man, bro. Because you think about, we got spiritually intoxicated by these other doctrines, man. So it pretty much left us on life support through the spirit.
And you can get that in Isaiah 28. They are drunken but not with wine. They stagger but not with strong drink.
So Yahweh Shah, when he breathed upon his disciples, he gave them this, the gift of the Holy Spirit, man.
Yeah, because you got somebody that got you drunk, right? And right when you starting to sober up, they give you more liquor. Or they just want to keep you drunk all night, man.
That's how you supposed to do it.
Yeah, he used our people to keep getting us with their liquor, like
right.
take more shots.
That's right.
You know, our leaders.
Have these so-called celebs set up, you know what I'm saying? Just continue feeding you garbage, man.
And even with Israelite leaders, right, they're supposed to be giving us sobering drinks. They'll mix a little liquor in that. So even if you think you woke, you still asleep. You still a little drunk, man. All right.
I think go ahead, bring it up, bro.
So Isaiah 52:1. It said, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion.
What is our strength, man?
It's true.
It's true. It's true. They got like that marinate. We got the 613 laws, statutes, and commandments, which is our constitution. We got the wisdom and knowledge of our forefathers, generations of wealth. Going back to what? Outside of the laws of Moses, we got the prophecies. We got the wisdom of Sirach. We got the wisdom of Proverbs, wisdom of Solomon. We got all types of instruction. That's our strength. That's our strength, man. Because they always say children who didn't have their fathers, they're more likely to go to prison. They're more likely to commit a crime. They don't have their fathers. They don't have the wisdom of their fathers, the discipline, the guidelines. Same thing with this truth. We were those bastard kids in these streets. But then we got to adopt it back to, that's the spirit. We got to adopt it back to our Father. That's our strength. That's our strength, man. All right?
It said, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city.
And this is where our confidence comes from. Because I remember a brother telling me, it was like his son was different when his son was around him. His son acts more confident when he's around him as his father. When he's around his father, his son is more confident, man. But when we got adopted back to the Father, we became more confident.
Say, I don't know if brother seen, but it was some kind of little training thing with the guy and his father, man. The young Jake and his father, and they were taking an ice bath. And the father was in it, and the son got in heels, but he didn't want to, he couldn't hardly handle it, so he trying to get out. And his father kept encouraging, son, you can do it. Mind over matter, you can do it, you can do it. But the influence of his father, man, he was able to go through it, man. You know? So with this truth, man, with the influence of Yahweh Shem Yahushua through the Spirit, teaching about Prophet Eldon, hey, we're going through all this, man. You know, and we're being steadfast in the midst of it, man.
And it's a beautiful point you brought out. Because the Father be put us through challenges, man. And not only to test us, because he knows our strength, but he's showing us our strength. He's put us in a situation where we learn our strength.
It's stated in Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter. My son, not concerned the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he knows too, he refers to it as his son.
Because we have to get tried and molded into the position of being sons of God. Brother, get that 1 John 3:1. We have to get molded into the image of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. It doesn't happen just, we woke up, now we know we Israelites. No, we have to go through a process, man. We got to get impurities purged from us. We have character flaws. We have things inside of us that wouldn't be fitting in the kingdom. All right, and it get purged out of us through trials, correction, tribulation. All right, and we have to have that mindset. Going back to Hebrews 12, whom the Lord loves, He chastises. It's going to you be catching hell like, man, why the fuck is this happening? Once I be throwing curveballs and this inconvenient circumstance happening out of nowhere, I think about these scriptures.
It's a spiritual detox.
Yeah,
Looking at the spirit.
But we got to prove ourselves. You know, it started out on the other side, coming to the camps, you know, listening, you know, taking notes, watching videos, continually until the Spirit of the Lord allowed you to come over. But the chassis didn't stop then. Because, you know, when we was on the other side, we still had to come out here, you know what I'm saying, in season, out of season. You know, the same weather type of things the brothers was going through. If you was, you know what I'm saying, truly, you know what I'm saying, serving out by Shemi outside, you're going to be right there on the other side going through it with it. But once you actually cross over and come to the truth, hey, the Lord just going to take it up a notch. You know, more demons, you know what I'm saying, fucking with you and everything, more sicknesses, all that kind of stuff, man. But it's because the Lord loves you, man, and He's He's getting us prepared and ready for the days to come, man.
Yeah, you're supposed to level up. You know what I'm saying? If you're facing the same demons like you're saying from 2 or 3 years ago, you're not leveling up in the spirit. And the reason why we go through these trials and tribulations is because basically so we can perform during the big game day, man. You know, the reason why Kobe said that he wasn't scared to shoot that shot because he said he don't practice that same shot so many times, man. So many times.
I'm going to add to that. Thinking on that just a few days ago in a deeper level, you know, think about it. The Most High show us the end game when he give us dreams or the outcome. But if he showed us what we had to go through in between that, we wouldn't want to do it. If he showed Daniel that he had to be in the lion's den and he had to, you know, endure the things that Daniel was, I'm not going to do that. Look at Jonas. Jonas fled from him. But, you know, through that, you know, that's where our strength come in trusting him that he going to bring us through this. You know, and as we go through each trial, we grow stronger and stronger and stronger to say, I can do this.
That builds your confidence.
Hey, they say there's one of my favorite quotes came from a movie. Alexander. Alexander was talking to his father, Philip of Macedonia. He said in the movie, kings aren't born, they're made. Through sufferings, through trials. And I think about prophets. Prophets aren't really born, they're made. Although you're born a prophet. But you're being made through those trials that prove your faith.
Right.
Because one thing that you saw in this film with all those prophets, they had faith.
Right.
Elijah, Elisha, Daniel. So Daniel had to get molded to a point who could be around lions like that.
Right.
You know, it didn't start that. He didn't have that faith from the beginning of his youth.
Right.
He had to get molded into that.
You can't make a sword without what? Heating it up, putting it in different temperatures of heat, beating it, shaping it. You know, that's like going through trials and tribulations. If a sword could talk, that hammer don't feel good hitting them, man. That fire ain't great. You know, but it's what's gonna make that sword what? Strong when the product is done, man.
Gorgeous.
Come.
I got you.
Gorgeous.
Ecclesiastes 2:1. My son, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation.
Prepare to catch hell. The word tempt means to try. It's better to hold that precept in 1 Peter. The trial of your faith being much more precious than gold that perishes. We're getting our faith tried, man. Our faith is being tried because we received a heavenly gift. We got the insight to the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
Going back to Tobit, the 13th chapter, man. All right, we're going to see the streets painted. The Most High showed us a preview. He showed us the beauty of our culture, the beauty of who we are. We're the Israelites. All right. He showed us the kingdom and the glory. But guess what? Now you got to fight to keep that in your mind. He showed us our name. He showed us his name, Yahweh. My son's name is Yahweh Shai. Are you an Israelite? All right.
Prince of power.
But now you got the prince of the power. You are a son of Yahweh Bashmal Shai. But now I'm gonna put you through all these different trials so you can fight to keep that truth. The woman, the job, the thoughts, the fuck ups, all that shit, demons.
Hey, everything was given to you how it was shot, but in his last walk when he came to earth, is how it was shot. What? The Most High didn't just say, here, go on and grab the kingdom. He had to go through some things, man. So how much more, you know what I'm saying, the servants, the prophets, man.
Bring that out to them.
Isaiah 28:16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believes shall not make haste.
Yeah. And the point is that tried stone. Because Yahushua was tested.
Yep.
So if he's the captain of our salvation, if he went through tribulations, afflictions, persecutions, we got to go through that same walk, man.
Serpent's not greater than his mouth.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
We look, bro.
Yeah.
We all take a bite of his affliction.
Right.
And the Passover is a symbolic of that.
Mm-hmm.
This is my bread.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. And because of Yahushua's trial, he's declared as a precious stone, a sure foundation. Because he was tried, he passed the test.
What did he say? You can't get to the Father unless you come through me.
That's it.
I mean, we have to follow in his footsteps.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to endure some of that trial and tribulation.
That's
that he
it.
went through.
That's it.
Somebody hold that in 1 Timothy 2:12.
Okay, and my brother was saying how the sword put through all these tests. you know, being beaten, going through fire and all, at the end of the day, the sword got to pass the test.
Yeah.
You know,
Come.
it's a cutting test. You know?
That's it. Verse 2. Ecclesiastes 2:2. Set your mind aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Make not haste, man.
Yeah.
Don't tap out.
Yeah.
You know, and the way you don't tap out is you stay plugged into the power source.
Hey, exactly, bro. Don't use the world, man. So don't be running after women, traveling, partying, and bullshitting and liquor. No, you use your how about shot.
true
You
vine.
use the scriptures, the true vine.
And that's what makes the elect the elect.
Hey, that goes into infusion too. So if you had like an infused water, like let's say the water had like strawberry flavor, well the water is infused with the strawberry flavor. Well your house shot spirit is infused in us when we connected to the vine.
It's a quote. So it's a quote that goes into patience is concentration and endurance. Well, endurance is patient concentrating. So throughout that, you got to concentrate on your Yahweh Shah, like what he went through, what his
Yeah.
disciples went through. You know, so that's why the scripture say in the same chapter, remember the generations of old.
Yeah.
And look what they went through before time. So we got to go through those same things when those heavenly miracles came about.
Yeah. Hey, I got a little more. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that you may be increased at your last end. Whatsoever is brought on you, take cheerfully, and be patient when you are changed to a lower state.
And we at that lowest state right now.
That's
you
it.
know?
That's it.
What the scripture say, we should be like him.
Right.
Referring to Yahweh Shai. So what he's doing, the more that we go through our different trials and tribulations, he's conforming our image more and more to be we look into the mirrors and we see Yahweh Shai through the spirit.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And he's a reflection of his father. You know? Last precept, y'all. Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
You got to be acceptable just to get tried.
Yeah.
So we're all acceptable men
Yeah.
because we're being tried. Now we don't know if we're going to be the actual elect that make it. We're the hopefully elect, but we are acceptable enough to at least get tried. So all the men that you see on the highways and the byways, they are and were acceptable enough to make the audition. You know, many are called but few are chosen. Because we have that ultimate trial. There's always a final trial, that final showdown. And it's called the hour of temptation for us. And that's when you know what is mandated, and we don't know where our next meal will come from.
And that's going into that cup. Like Yahushua said, surely y'all shall drink out of this cup. Well, for drink is going into your divine appointment, man. And Lord will, we pass the test.
Yeah, some of us gonna sit in them camps.
Yeah.
Some of us gonna be in houses with no electricity. All right. Yep. Some of you might be with your woman, your family, and you might see some Lot's wife type shit.
That's right.
What's that movie? The Road. I she get with the ghost. Well, not give with the ghost, but she disappeared. Yeah. So we all got our divine appointment, but it's all rooted in the trial of our faith. Right?
That's it.
Like the lesson you did through the spirit. Hey, marvel not, she trespassed against me.
Yep. So
Yeah, you already got to put in your mind in the forefront, hey, this can't happen.
Yeah.
This is a very possibility.
That's it.
and get that fairy tale shit out your
Yeah,
head
man.
that your woman is solid.
Right.
Now, she might be solid,
Yeah.
but don't be expecting her to be solid.
She got to be tried too.
She gotta be tried too.
Women love comfort.
Yeah. She has to be tried.
It may try you.
That's it.
You know.
That's it.
Don't be surprised when your rib becomes a thorn. It's gonna be rough, man.
I'm hungry. What you gonna do?
Just expect the negativity in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, we don't know your woman, but we just know the nature of it.
And that's our women.
Yeah.
You know, because Satan will use her to break you down.
Right.
You know, he'll be in her spirit to constantly nag you to do something stupid.
Look at Job.
That's right.
His wife.
That's right.
So
They
it's
see
like-
Job. No, go ahead.
Now it's always best to just consider that through the spirit, man.
Got
What
to.
if this can't happen?
That's it.
And be expected to be delivered at the last minute.
That's it.
Be expected to get, because have faith in your how by small side, and have faith that you're going to get delivered in your test at the last minute.
Like earlier, the scripture states, scarcely be saved. That's in the nick of time.
What you just read, thou should be increased at that last end.
That's it.
That last end, that final moment.
And the increase too will come, we get raised up, right? Let's say you and your woman go through a trial. All right, let's say she leaves. Well, you'll get increased because 7 women should take hold of one man. So y'all finna build a nation. Well, let's say a woman stick around. I'm willing she stick around. You love your woman, man. We love our women. She stick around. Well, guess what? She gonna be a part of your estate in the kingdom. She's not gonna have to die.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you lose it, just put a claim on it, you'll get it right back.
Yeah, don't be trying to sit up and convince the baby don't go. Ain't no time for that.
Right.
Please
You know?
stay. Please stay. Please.
No.
I remember my brother had a dream. I think it's a brother from Alabama. I could be wrong, but he said he had a dream that we was all getting rewarded, like a house shot. He was like, all our women that we dealt with, that was watching us. He was like, my supply.
Yeah, it's like a big
We was in the
screen.
auditorium.
Yeah.
And our shot was displaying to our people that came back, 2/3 what they did before time.
And this, he was like, man, our woman was fine as hell. You know? I'm assuming it's the same brother. But long story short, it just the thing that stuck with me was like, man, our women got changed. You know?
They're gonna have to have spiritual power in a sense to deal with us too.
Yep.
But now on the level as a man, right?
Right.
So you have research.
Come. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, starting at verse 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment,
And this is classified as a light affliction. You might have lost your home. You might have been homeless. You might have been without a car. You're without a woman. Or been plagued in your body with chronic pain. But it's still classified as a light affliction compared to the possible award that you're going to receive.
Right. Because this thing is short term. The kingdom is everlasting.
Right.
worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
And you got brothers that's blind. You got brothers that's like got Elvis, right? They can be so-called fixed with the MOTB.
Yep.
So the trial of their faith is, you know, yeah, you want your sight back? You know?
That's right.
Verse 18, while we look not at the things which are seen.
In this current fashion of the world,
That's
man.
it, bro.
You know?
Being a high value man.
Yeah, that's right. That's why the scripture states you have to use the world and not abuse it. When you abuse anything, you become an addict. You have an addiction.
And it's easy to become an addict in this place.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
scripture says that I should grope in a noonday.
See?
Part of that groping is you looking for an outlet to different things, man.
It makes sense, man, because that's why this place is spiritually called Sodom, which goes into burning. Now these people are burning to their sexual desires,
Yeah,
lusts,
yeah.
cravings, aspirations, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They became addicts, man.
Yeah.
You know, through the spirit.
That's why you got my 600-pound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Motherfucker need a crane and get into the hospital.
yep,
Shit.
you got sex addicts, processed food addicts, drug addicts. You know,
Yeah.
And Esau feed the illusion through his witchcraft as it's okay. We're happy. Like the machine is set up for the drug addicts and shit.
Yeah.
You know, we're like they're really helping you to wean yourself off of it.
but you give us the drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that's very profitable in this setup is fasting, cleansing, juicing. Because it's good not only primarily spiritually, but it's good to reset your mind, your brain, your spirit. Because we've been hooked on things all our lives. We've been hooked on junk food. But you be hooked on stuff you watch on the internet. You hooked on liquor to a heightened extent. You might have been hooked on drugs. You've been hooked on watching TV all day. You've been hooked on video games, excessively. So it's good to go periods of time where you're cleansing and detoxing because your brain is still recovering. Your spirit is still recovering. A lot of us haven't really experienced spiritual clarity or mental clarity. We still experience brain fog. We still tired all the time. So it's good to go on water cleansing and juicing and detoxing. Plus the spirits that fuck with us that you might not be aware of, and fasting helps combat that.
And you gotta switch it up, man. You can't do the same thing over and over. Because when Jacob's trouble comes, we're not gonna have these certain desires and things of that nature.
Outlets.
And Esau made it, he made the world addicts through the art of exposure. Like a little kid wouldn't know about any other sexual identification unless he was exposed to it. And that's what happened to Eve. She was exposed to some shit.
That's right. Back in the scriptures, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen,
Kingdom of heaven.
for the things which are seen are temporal.
America.
That's what it's worth.
And you know, America's been here so long, and the Edomite rulership has been here so long, that it seems like it's hard to fathom that they won't be here. But Rome was hard. It was hard to fathom that Rome won't be here. And you go to Rome now, it's just a relic. It is a remnant of that Colosseum. And that's really the Most High saying, see, you know,
This once was.
this once was. Because the Most High could have decimated the whole Colosseum. But he left like a remnant of it. Same thing with the pyramids and the statues in Egypt. Well, that's the Most High saying, see, it's like a sign. Yeah.
That's showing.
That's his receipts.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
That's his
Yeah.
receipt
This
showing
happened.
you, like, I did that.
Yeah.
Because what did it say in Romans 9? What if the Most High willing to make his power known, man? That's, And he said, I hardened Pharaoh's heart.
That's right.
To make him rebel, just so he could destroy Egypt and show his
Show
power.
power. It shows you power. So his name can be magnified.
Because a receipt is what? Proof.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
proof.
Yeah. I want to say when you go to receive, it goes into results.
Results.
Yeah. The proof, like you're saying,
Yeah,
you know.
But the things which are not seen are eternal.
What are things that are not seen?
Yeah.
The kingdom of heaven. And that's why the scripture says, set thy affection on things above. That's the kingdom of heaven, Jerusalem, not the spirit world heaven. The kingdom of heaven. Okay, because the Apostle Paul temporarily went back to the spirit world. He called the spirit world paradise.
Yeah.
Where the Most High said on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah.
So the planet Earth is going to be in a state of paradise, which was, it's going to be a complete final draft of the original state going back to the time of Adam.
Better.
But better.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Prove that when you go to I saw a new heaven and a new earth. It tells you in Kainos, one of the definitions that it's going to be better than its former state. When it was identified as a paradise during the time of Adam and Eve, King Solomon's time, King David's time.
Is it in Sirach where you say that no eye have seen, no ear have heard?
Corinthians. Yeah. Isaiah 2, yeah.
All over.
Don't you, hey, don't you, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but like say it's gonna be better because Adam seen, you know what I'm saying, paradise, you know, way at the beginning. You know, but he said no eye have seen, nor ear have heard.
Woo.
You know,
Right.
of the place that he gonna prepare for us,
And
man.
then King Solomon's rulership was, and there's still no I have seen, nor ear
Right,
have heard.
right.
King David's rulership, you know.
So we talking about new colors, new animals. You know, who knows, man? But we excited about this shit, man.
Yeah, kind.
But the most thing is harmony and the laws and the commandments being within our animal form. We won't have to go through none of this stuff that all the ages that have been since Adam, we won't have to go through that.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Hey, can I bring out something real quick? Hey, this is just to back you up. Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
And that's not going to be a fucking asteroid blowing up the planet Earth like the movie Armageddon, man.
Right.
No, it means a new rulership on the planet Earth.
Right.
Showing you it's a people. You know what I'm saying? And what scripture go to about the kingdom of heaven suffering violence?
That's right.
That's referring to a people.
Yeah, to the time the Gentiles be paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was no more sea. And just to prove what you were saying, Shaquat, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
And what is that New Jerusalem coming down from heaven? Or coming down from the chariot?
The elect, beginning with 144,000.
Yeah.
Men, women, true.
The whole body.
That's right.
Descending from the chariot.
That's it, bro.
It's a bride adorned, man.
Yeah.
All right? Going to show you that it's a people, like you said before, it's a place, man.
That's right.
It's not going to be like a city coming from heaven, man. It's going to be a population of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's right. And when you go back to Revelation 21:1 and get kainos, it means new, which is as recently made is superior to what it succeeds.
And it's going to succeed the first paradise. And it's actually in Ezekiel 36, you know, Gig about the shop. It's going into the New Jerusalem, man, and the new heavens and the new earth. You got it, brother, about the shop.
This is the book of John, chapter 14, starting at verse 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe in also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you.
And we're not even talking about the galaxies, man.
Right.
Planet Earth is just one Earth, all right, amongst trillions.
That's right.
Esau's always going to this Hubble telescope, this Hubble spacecraft, to look out what we have. He's sneaking into our presence, man.
Right.
He's curious, man.
Well, trespass.
Because the planet Earth is only one mansion.
Yeah.
It's only one habitation. Just like the movie Avatar. They went out. Let's just keep this shit fast by. Alright, but they went out to a different galaxy and they ran across Pandora, which is another Earth. Alright, and Pandora means treasure, which symbolically they represented America. America before Esau came. Alright? But in my Father's house are many mansions, man. So America, the planet Earth is just one habitation amongst trillions.
Right.
And it's going to be the habitation of Israel's progeny, man. Israel's descendants, man. The elect's progeny. All right?
I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. And that where I am, there ye may be also.
Man, I'm sorry, bro.
You got it, bro.
Yeah, how Shai's making pennies, bro. Like, whatever we're going to go through, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And we just pray to you, I pray to you, how about Shai, that he strengthens us to pass these trials.
Yeah, it's gonna be so beautiful. We're gonna get there and be like, God damn, do we really deserve it? Like,
Can you imagine like a crystallized beach, like it sparkles in the water, like it's like stardust in the waters, man. It's like illuminating animals underwater. Can you imagine crystal clear oceans, man? But not only like in the beginning part of the ocean, but even when it's deep in the ocean, it's still crystal clear, man.
Bro.
have that same outlet in your ceiling,
Gleaming.
on your floor.
You go to a cheap ass hotel, you have the stars in the ceiling.
Bro, you blew my bro. You blew my mind when we was at the Gulf Coast, man. When you pulled up the imagery of the sand.
Yeah.
Man, that blew my mind, man.
Brother,
It looked like seashells and all kind of, man, like little snail shells, man. It's beautiful, man. But you would never think stepping on it is actually what you're gonna see.
Yeah, that's dirty water.
And that dirty water, man. It ain't no telling what you're gonna see. You might see fabrics of precious stones, man, if you go somewhere like Destin or something, man. Or overseas or somewhere.
That's why you so start crying.
That was like, I'm
But
losing
the
all
beauty is that we'll be able to go out, swim in it, do whatever,
Yeah.
without worrying about getting ate by a shark, stepping
Yeah.
on the jellyfish. Yeah, because,
Familiar.
we went down to the coast. And I'm talking to the local, like, I was in the waters. He was like, you must not be from here.
Like you in that dirty
Yeah,
shit.
you in that dirty ass shit. This ain't Florida.
Also, too, we were down there too at the same time. And my granddaughter wanted to get in the water, but we like, nah, that water's dirty. It's bacteria in that water. But after we got back, a couple of days later, they saw CDC put out an article that it's a bacteria in the water. Now, that it had made it to the Gulf Coast, the bacteria.
It was all in it.
Man, I was sprinkling water over. You would thought I was John the Baptist, man. I was pouring water over the top of my head. I was bathing, man.
Man.
I talked to a brother today. He said that there's bacteria in the water in the area.
Right.
That goes to show you, man, bro's protected by the spirit. How about
God, that spirit I showed this
You
seed.
know, I
Brother,
read
man,
the-
motherfucker, you put Bobby.
Salmonella around that motherfucker.
We should eat our bread and fowl, huh? Drip water out of our own system.
Right. I think you'll hold something too.
Oh yeah, con.
All right, this is 1 Peter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 6.
I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say any names, but things you see with other Israelite groups is impatience.
Yeah.
Brothers really want the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
They want the kingdom of heaven. They just want it now.
Yeah.
No, we didn't wake up to get the kingdom of heaven in America.
Yeah.
They just want it now.
You can't have a kingdom within a kingdom.
You're right.
It's not. It'll never happen.
For one to rise, one must fall.
That's right.
Yeah, bro.
You want that NLT or you want that?
You get KJV and I would like to see what NLT says after this.
Okay, this is 1 Peter 1, verse 6, KJV. Wherein ye greatly rejoice, do now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness, through the manifold temptation.
Going back to Sirach 2, when I come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right? Then here it speaks on manifold temptation. Then you're going to catch continual hell. 1 minute is your car, next minute is your woman, next minute is the bills, next minute is your health, your job, you know, your thoughts. You can't even stay by yourself too long because your mind is constantly plagued by thoughts. You know? Yeah,
Just to add to that, and that's why, you know, speaking of going into Jacob's trouble, Isaiah 33:6 says, wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of our time, because we're going to have to think upon the Most High to get us through that time, and use the wisdom that He has shown us and taught us in order to make it through that time.
that's the ace. Yep.
Make it to be beamed up if we're part of that elect.
That's right. Right.
Verse 7, it says, that the trials of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perish, though it be tried with fire.
It's going to determine if you're going to be a rightful ruler in the kingdom of heaven. So it is more precious than gold that perish, man. This is an important test. That's why we got to make sure we're not sidetracked, distracted. All right, we're here to conquer. And now we see why we catch hell and we have integrity tests, because we're getting groomed for the ultimate integrity test. You know?
It's kind of good to be uncomfortable in a society like this, especially when you know what you're about to go through. So Lord really looking out for us in the spirit.
It's conditions. Catch hell, man.
Like,
Look, this shit gonna be ugly.
If you're like 100% comfortable in this society, out of all this madness going on, and when all hell breaks loose, hey, you're a willing participant for Jacob's trouble, man.
Like, bro, you confident on death row?
It's almost
Like you comfortable in the valley of the shadow of death. You know what I'm saying? You are comfortable within the valley of the shadow of death. Just think about that, man.
almost being like being thinking of it in a worldly sense, like being on the Most High football team, you know, and we're getting ready to play this final game, you know, the championship game, and you know, we playing a team that, you know, nobody has never beat, nobody has never seen. So, you know, just preparing ourselves for that, because even during those trials, we're gonna have to depend on each other, maybe,
right.
depending on what our life is.
And since you said that, but guess what? We do got film. It's scripture.
Right.
We got film. Like you say, he ain't never been beat, but we got film.
Right.
You
Look
know?
at the generations of old.
That's right.
That's what it says.
We gonna be all
Oh yeah, it's the book of faith. And, you know, you got certain books in the Word that got taken out of the Bible. But how it says the Chronicles of the Kings. You know, there's actually like a book of Jasper. I mean, not Jasper, Jasher.
Right.
All right. There's certain books that was taken out, and you actually say like, man, why they? Because this is a book of faith.
That's it.
So the Most High only kept the books that's gonna build up our faith. We're gonna get all the other information back in the kingdom. So we're not here to get certain genealogies and certain bloodlines. We're here to really get our faith built up for our temptation and get the hell up out of here.
That's why I say, you know in part, you prophesy in part.
Right.
So everything's given to us through the Spirit to be able to get to salvation, man.
Right.
We got all we need right here.
Right.
Oh, precept. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish this out. It said, might be found unto praise and honor, glory, at the appearance of Yahweh Shah.
That's what it's all about, man. Being accounted worthy to stand from the Son of Man on that great day, man.
Hey, just to prove, 1 Chronicles 29:29. Now the acts of David, the king, first and last, behold, they are written in the book of Samuel the seer, and in the book of Nathan the prophet,
But you don't have that.
and in the book of Gad the seer.
Yep.
You know, with all his reign and his might, and the times that went over him, and over Israel, and over all the kingdoms of the countries.
Yep.
That was just the point. You broke it down.
Yeah, hey, the book of Gad the Seer, we don't have that book. There's a lot of books that it'll say in the scriptures, is it not written in the book of
Right.
And man, where that book at? You at least got it right now.
It's rolled up somewhere.
Yep. Sometimes the message is in the media. So go ahead.
1 Corinthians 13:12. For now we see through a glass darkly,
Yep.
but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even also. It's like But then shall I know even as also are known.
So, hey, we know in part because look, it's certain things that we're not gonna know.
That's right.
It's certain things the Most High told Ezra to write these in a book
That's right.
and send it to men that's like you, but hide these other books.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's so many books that's written
Yeah.
that we're not gonna know into the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Because the most, hey, that's why the scripture says, godliness with content is great gain, but also my grace is sufficient for thee.
That's right.
Like with food and raiment, let you be content.
Yeah.
So scripturally, the Most High just gave us food and raiment.
Yeah.
He didn't give us the other, the goodies and the look. You know what I mean?
It's like we always go into that scene on The Matrix where Tank and his brother prepared that meal, and they didn't like the way it looked, but he said it's full of nutrients,
Yeah.
vitamins, this, that, everything the body needs.
Everything the
So the
body
Lord put everything the body needs, you know what I'm saying, in the scriptures, man.
Right.
It's that prophecy in part because we have 100% to attain salvation. I got one more. Bro. This is Revelation 10:1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was on his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire.
Yep.
Right? So this angel came down in the chariot, and these chariots had multiple colors. And his feet was talking about the landing parts of the chariot. Verse 2. And he had in his little hand, and he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the earth, the landing parts of the chariot, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roared. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not.
Yep, showing you. All right, hey, showing you there's certain things we're not gonna know into the kingdom. But the Most High gave us that staple food, that spiritual staple food to keep us going, man.
Second Ezra 14, just get to the point. Verse 2. And I said, here I am, Lord, and I stood up upon my feet. Then say he unto me, in the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses and talked with him when my people served in Egypt. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt and brought him up to the mountain where I held him by me a long season. Verse 5. And told him many wondrous things and showed him the secrets of the times and the end and commended him saying. So he was showing many things that's not really written within the text.
That's it.
You know?
That's
So
it.
who knows what the Lord Yahweh was talking to Moses about?
Right.
And we will see in the next kingdom of God.
That's it.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 1, verse 37. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes,
So we
yet
So the little ones represents Yahweh Shai's day ones. Lord willing, that's us. We haven't seen Yahweh Shai face to face in this reincarnation, but we have seen him through the word, man, through the understanding of the scriptures, you know?
yet in spirit they believe the things that I say.
Right.
That's that faith. Like that I'm saying, this book is a book of faith. So even though all the books that's being mentioned are not in here, hey, the recipe that we need for salvation is right here,
So
man.
that's all we do.
Staple food.
That's right.
Good. For food and raiment.
We continue.
You know, because like I say, just like the Passover, you know, leavened bread.
Right.
You know how to get that to-go move, that to-go food, man.
Yeah.
So this is that to-go food, man, to give you, like you said, give you those spiritual nutrients, all right, to keep you on the move.
Yep.
You know, this is not like a buffet per se.
Right.
You know?
Sit down, just eat till you can't move, man.
Yep.
I think I got one. This is Job chapter 19. Oh, yeah. Job 19 and 25. For I know that my Redeemer lives, and that he shall stand at the latter day on earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High.
Riddle me that.
That's right.
Answer that riddle.
Yeah. So Job had faith, and he knew the art of reincarnation, and he knew that at the allotted time he was going to see the Most High in another lifetime.
That's right.
That's right.
And he was referring to Yahweh Shai.
But yeah,
As
yeah,
a redeemer.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
And
right.
with knowing that, you know, he knew that reincarnation that he would come back again.
That's right.
He gonna be studying his life.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
That's it. That's it. So when Moses was looking at the burning bush, he actually saw Yahweh Shah. You know? When Isaac, we always brought this out here through the Spirit of the Most High. When Isaac, when the angel came to Abraham and basically told him, I will come to you at the appointed time. Well, that was Yahweh Shah and two other angels.
Right.
But it was in the Lord. It says like the Lord appeared.
Right.
But no, the Lord has representatives.
Right.
So you come in the name of the Lord, you can have that banner as Yahweh.
Right.
If that makes
Right.
sense.
Because the whole thing is about Yahweh Shai.
That's it.
Right.
The whole from Genesis to Revelation, Yahweh Shai either had his own appearances.
That's right.
It's called a cameo appearance.
That's it. That's it.
Or there was prophecies written about him. That's why he was the big thing when he came in the time of Matthew. All right, he was saying, I'm the man you read about in the prophecies. Right?
To back you up, 1 Timothy 2:5. For there is one Most High and one mediator between the Most High and men,
He's showing you there was a Yahweh Shai in this bush.
the man Mashiach Yahushua.
The man,
Intercessor.
Yep, that's right. That's right, bro.
Real quick, Philippians 2:12 in NLT. Dear friends, you always followed my instructions when I was with you. And now that I am away, it is even more important. Work hard to show the results of your salvation, obeying the Most High Yahweh with deep reverence and fear.
The results is working out your own salvation.
I'm doing that within his absence too.
Yeah.
As the brother read in 2 Ezra's first chapter, we are not seeing him with bodily eyes, but through the spirit right now, through the word, through the understanding, we do see Yahweh Shai, man, by the prophecies.
Yep. Hey, well, with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakodash.
Double understrike elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Above.
Above.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.